Hey guys, Byron Jr. here. One of the cornerstones of the Meisner technique is two things. One is listening, learning how to listen, and truly and honestly listen. Something that we as human beings, especially in American society, we're not used to doing. We're not used to listening to people. We're not used to sitting down and really communicating with them. And how do you communicate with somebody? You communicate by empathizing with them. That is the source of communication. When you empathize, not sympathize, not apathize, obviously, but when you empathize, when you sit there and truly try to understand what this other human being is trying to tell you. That's why I love acting so much, because acting is about the human condition, exploring the human condition, and enlightening something in a character that's going to help people communicate better or just grow. Another thing that is it's not unique, but it's a Meisner thing, is this thing called emotional preparation, which is, I don't want to do a compare and contrast between the other techniques such as the method acting, because I'm not a method actor in the strictest sense that I didn't study Strasberg's method style. The method acting is about using your real emotions. It's about using emotions from your past or sense memory. Meisner doesn't do that. Meisner does something called using your imagination, inventing the circumstances, or creating it in your imagination. Because acting, I think the talent of an actor is based on your imagination. The more powerful your imagination is, the more broader you can go, the deeper you can go into your imagination, the better of an actor you are. And it takes time, it takes practice. Acting is like a muscle, and you really have to flex it all the time in order to really see results and get as deep as you want to go. So what I wanted to do today was I wanted to give you an example on how the Meisner emotional preparation imagination technique works. This is what I do. In order for you to, let's say you want to reach a certain emotional level in your work or in the scene or whatever, but you don't know what that feels like because you've never kind of been there before, what you want to do is you want to imagine that situation. So let's say you want to pick an emotion. We're going to go with tears. People always say, how do you cry on cue? How do you cry on cue? So this is it. Take deep breaths because you want to be really relaxed. That is important. That is one of the key things to emotional preparation is relaxation. And to acting in general, relaxation. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys what I do. And I'm going to verbally talk to you through what I'm thinking in my brain as I do the emotional preparation. So this is what I like to do. So I sit down. Let's say, again, we're doing emotional crying, tears. You really want to feel all the tension, just leave your body, just be as relaxed as you possibly can. The thing I want to tell you is that when you do go inside your imagination and you do go inside this emotion you're trying to create, you want to be as specific as possible. I think that's important in any acting. Be specific, because life is specific. When you have a memory that triggers an emotional response, it's specific. You know where you were at, you remember what you were wearing, you know who you were talking to. You just remember specific things in the event. Now, it's not have to be specific big things. It can be very, very small things, but you remember a lot, and that's what makes it real when you create in your imagination. So one of the imaginations that I like to use when I have to get into emotional place is I'm at a doctor's office. I'm at the hospital, and I am talking to a man, and he's telling me, Mr. Vasquez, we've prepared you for this moment. We've done everything we can do for your mom, who's in the hospital at this moment. But we believe it's time for you to say your goodbyes. And I see the door. The door's closed. And I have a moment where I'm hesitating because I'm scared to walk in that door, because I know that the moment I open the door, my whole world's going to change. So I see the handle, and I'm scared. But I go ahead and I open the door. And I see my mom in a hospital bed, laying there, covered up in the blankets, and have wires hooked up to her, to all these monitors, the IV, and I hear the beeping of the heart monitor. Beep, beep, beep. It's faint, and I walk over to my mom, and I see her in the bed, um, and I see her hand, the hand that I've known since I was a child, and I grab it, and I see her lying there, her eyes closed, her hardly breathing. And I tell her, I stroke her head, and I tell her that it's okay, that she doesn't have to hold on anymore, that she can let go. So that was kind of like a bad example, or not a bad example, but it wasn't like the best example because I didn't really, it wasn't really very, very like full. I mean, there was emotion there, but it wasn't like I wasn't sobbing in tears after my mom died. But I was just trying to give you an example of how it works. Here is the interesting thing about the emotional preparation, the emotional preparation. Or the imaginative work, is that you do it again and again and again. You do it all, I mean, for me at least, I would do it every day. You practice it because each time you do it, you can go deeper into the imagination. You can go deeper and deeper. And the more deeper you go into the imagination, the deeper in your emotions you're going to go. So you're going to be able to really carve out these deep emotional responses. Now, when you have a movie or a play or something that you're working on, and you have a script, what you want to do is you want to go through that script and go through the emotional beats. And you want to, I remember they taught me, say the line, say your partner's line. Say the partner's line out loud, do the emotional preparation. Say the partner's line out loud, do the emotional preparation. And you do that so it's almost a Pavlovian response. You want to have it ingrained in your system so much so that as soon as you are, you have those bombs planted in your script. So then when you go back, and you go back to the, once you're prepared and everything, you throw the preparation away. That's, it's weird, right? You prepare to let it go. You prepare it and then you forget it. You throw it away. And you go from the beginning of the scene and you run the scene and you play moments, and then you just are there listening and playing moments. Then these bombs will go off when you don't even expect them to. They'll go off and you'll have this huge emotional reaction. You won't even, it will come so natural to you because you're living, one, you're prepared. Two, you're living in the, you're living truthfully under imaginary circumstances, and you're prepared by having these little bombs go off. Now, they may not go off when you want them to. You may not go off right at that moment that you said it, but they're going to go off eventually, and they're going to create magic. And that's what you want in your work. You want spontaneity, you want magic, and you want to be prepared. So that is why acting training is very important, because it teaches you a technique, it teaches you to be prepared, and it teaches you to let go and let the work take a life of its own. So I'll see you guys next time.